As a creative, my mind doesn't always flood with ideas. Sometimes it's the exact opposite. Nothing comes, just static silence. I sit there staring at the wall, waiting and hoping for a spark. And more than many creators out there might like to admit, we all go through this. Some call it the creative block. Well, I call it the creative paralysis, or worse, the creative seizure. Because in those moments, it doesn't just feel like a block. It feels like your entire mind freezes. But that's the part nobody talks about. The part you don't see. The part that never makes it to the final cut. Because those beautifully told stories, those perfectly edited videos you see on YouTube, they probably took days, weeks, and sometimes even months to pull together and craft. But behind every polished frame, behind every smooth transition, behind every beautiful storytelling and sharp audio, there is a block face. And just like every other creative out there, I have my blockage moments too. Moments when nothing creative comes to mind, just zero flows. And in those moments, I begin to wonder, maybe I am not that talented. Maybe I am actually so dumb. Or maybe everyone else is moving and I am the only one stuck. Well, that hurts. Because now I am not just only doubting myself, but I'm also doubting my skills. But when these episodes hit, I don't panic. Or at least I try not to. Instead, I work with whatever I have, whatever is in front of me. The fragments of ideas that flows through when I stare at the ceiling, the light snaking through my window, an old spawn in my drawer, or the mess on my table. I believe short films don't always need the perfect scripts or big budgets. They can be made from anything. A crack in the wall, a shadow, or the half-eaten pancakes I had for breakfast. Stories are everywhere. Even the most insignificant item in the room can carry a story, if you are willing to look at it long enough. I believe there's a story in the tiniest of details. You just have to find it and make it make sense. Maybe what I experienced isn't the creative block. I am not talking about struggling with a complex idea. I'm talking about when I'm unable to come up with the simplest of ideas. No concept, no story, not even a single frame. Maybe it's not that I don't have ideas. Maybe I just feel restricted by my own space. You see, I live in a single room apartment, just a bed, a kitchen, and the bathroom. Which means that as a creative, I have almost nothing to work with. No fancy set, no open spaces, no aesthetics, just four walls. And sometimes it's difficult to come up with ideas, to feel inspired, or even think outside the box. When the box is literally the room you're stuck in. Now I know what you might be thinking. Why not just go outside and film? Well, it sounds simple, but it's really not. Because these days, going out is not just about stepping out of your door. It costs money, transport, and energy that I don't have. And the kind of outdoor content that actually interests me, it costs even more money to make. Maybe it's just an excuse, but it's also not that simple. Anyways, all I'm really saying is that I can't exactly give a name to the block episodes I experience. I just know that sometimes everything shuts down and I can't explain why. So it makes me wonder, is the creative block a real thing or is it subjective to the creative? But one thing I know for sure is that the creative process is not as smooth as it looks. On screen, the creative process seems so straightforward, like a perfectly drawn triangle. Or, well, maybe a square. Well, it's not. In my experience, it's more like a roughly sketched zigzag line, interrupted by a random splash of coffee. Shit. At first, it's annoying. You feel like you've ruined it. But somehow, that thing, it adds character. It shifts your perspective. And it becomes the starting point for something new. But still, you can't place it. And jackpot! There it is. The clue, the angle, the inspiration you've been chasing all day. And maybe that's the whole point. Maybe the creative block isn't so bad after all. Maybe it's not a curse. I mean, the ability to be able to tell a story from a messy event. Hi, I am Fortunate, an aspiring filmmaker and a creative block survivor. If you enjoy short films like this, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!